Okay, ladies, thank you so much. You know, it's about that time. It is 7 p.m. It's Mental Health Awareness Month. And I want to welcome you guys to another self love conversation. And tonight we're going to be speaking with a coach, y'all. We're going to be speaking with Coach Wilson. Now, Ms. Wilson, say your first name for me because I ain't want to say it wrong. So, you know, I
I
got
knew it,
nervous
honey.
at
I
the
knew it.
last moment.
I knew it. But it's okay. It's pronounced Nakikia.
Nakikia, thank you so much. Because I was looking at it, I was like,
Mhm.
I don't want to mess this up at all. But
I appreciate. I would have been okay if you had. It's fine. I
Miss
get it
Coach
all the time.
Nakikia Wilson, thank you so much for being here at the I'm Loving Me project. I know that you work, you're a certified emotional healing facilitator and trainer. You certified in mental health awareness. And there's a lot that I want to be able to talk about tonight. So I just hope you open and ready for that. I got a couple of questions. But first, I just wanted to say, how are you? How are things? How is business?
So I am doing well, actually. I can't really complain. I could, but what's the point? It won't do any good. It won't suit anybody. So I do what I do best. I keep it moving.
Now,
Um,
Coach Wilson, I've been watching on Apple TV The Me You Can't See. I don't know if you've seen it yet. It is a documentary with Prince Harry and Oprah where they talk about mental health.
mhm.
And they talk about how people struggle and battle with themselves every day. And sometimes you don't even know what's going on, right? Like with yourself. And one of the things that stuck out to me that I wanted to open a conversation with is being able to recognize that there's something wrong. Because I've been talking about this all month. Most of us are walking around here, coach, believing that, or giving excuses to the reasons why they're feeling the way they feel it. Oh, I'm feeling down because I failed a test, or I'm feeling this way because I don't like the relationship that I'm in, where really it might be something more that they're suffering with. How can we start to take control of our feelings and really start to recognize when it's not just a little small thing, but something a little bit more? Because I don't think people even know the difference.
Well, one of the things is we like you said, a lot of us are sitting and we're suffering in silence. We because we don't have the conversations that we should be having in our communities about mental and emotional health, we tend to ignore or we don't understand what those signs and symptoms are if we're having a problem or a crisis. Um, we've avoided the conversation for so long that we don't, some of us may not know what those signs and symptoms are. And like you said, some may be saying, well, I'm just feeling a little down,
Right.
I'm just feeling a little sad. But when it's chronic and it's ongoing, then you have to understand that there is an issue. A lot of times people don't seek the help that they need because there's this stigma behind um, being diagnosed with something that's mental health related. Because
Exactly.
of this stigma, a lot of times in our community, we look at mental illness as a personal problem or a sign of weakness. Or it's something that you should just get over, or a child, just go on somewhere and pray about that. Give it to God; He'll handle it for you. And so that's what we do.
Hmm.
And so we don't we end up in this vicious cycle of of dealing with these challenges rather than getting the help we need to start our healing process.
One of our listeners just said, that because of COVID, mental health is on a rise. And, how do you actually deal with that? And I just want to say before you answer that, it's like, since we were able to sit down and really be with ourselves for a whole year, we are coming out with these different things like, look, I'm not going to take this job anymore. I do feel that I have anxiety, depression. I don't like being lonely. I don't like being all of this. And now, Coach Wilson, we coming back outside.
Mhm.
And we bringing this outside. So not only are people coming out where they are divorced, right? But they coming out unhealthy and mingling around in the world talking about, I want to get back to my normal self. Well, you didn't like the normal self in the beginning.
Well, that's the thing. When you went in, like COVID happened. Listen, COVID didn't. It didn't start with COVID.
That's right.
Let's just get that clear. It did. The problems that we're experiencing did not start with COVID. We were already having these issues. We were ignoring them. We
Thank
were
you.
avoiding them. We
Thank you.
were brushing them under the carpet. We were just existing. We were just, going with the flow. We were just going with the motions. And when COVID hit, it's like, okay, we're busy, going through our hustle and bustle throughout the day. We're dealing with kids, we're dealing with work, we're dealing with spouses or significant others or business, what have you. So we don't take the time, we don't prioritize our mental and emotional health. So when COVID hit, you had no choice but to sit in your mess. But now you're
Mhm.
sitting in your mess and you don't know what to do.
That's right.
And so now you realize, okay, I might have these, problems and issues. I think I want to, I need to do something. But now you
That's
don't know what to do.
right. And
So now you're instead of now people are like you said, people are getting divorced because they're jumping the gun. They're letting their emotions dictate. Okay, well, let me go and see if we can get counseling first. Let me see if we can work on ourselves individually and then come collectively and work together before we do get the divorce. Um, but I mean, like I said, COVID, it didn't start. It didn't start with COVID. We've
mhm,
always had these issues.
right. And here we are, right? Here we are, where, like I said, now we're outside. You have a lot of broken people who are coming out, right?
Mhm.
You also have a lot of people who have become self-aware, which is a good thing, right? Because now we have this crisis where the jobs, like I was telling the ladies either today or the other day, where the jobs are enticing people to come to work because now you won't settle for that $10 an hour, that $7 an hour, right? Because you sat with yourself and you understood that you are worth more. So now they're trying to entice you with $15 an hour and an iPhone to come work at McDonald's before you took that. But once you decided and knew your worth, now you're saying what you're not going to take, right? And I know you specialize in mental health and emotional health. Can you explain what the difference is?
Well, yeah, and they are, we tend to, you know, um, they overlap,
Mm-hmm.
but there is a difference in the two. Um, the mental health portion deals with how the brain, how the mind processes received information, or how processes the experiences that we are enduring. Emotional health, on the other hand, is how we process the received information or how we're experiencing things, how we express feelings,
Mm-hmm.
how we express how we feel. That's what the difference is.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, they although they can overlap, their definitions are different. Now they do have an impact one on the other, and you can be more mentally unstable but be emotionally warped, or you can be emotionally strong, but you still have some anxiety, you still have some depression type things. But one does affect the other. One
Mm-hmm.
can affect the other.
And so when we talking about our community, the Black community, that's where we get a lot of hush hush, right? because mental health, you know, you just don't talk about that, because the crazy person is the uncle or the child who still lives at home with mom or grandma, and grandma always kept that person close, or mom always kept that person close to them, and you knew it was something that was wrong, but nobody really ever said anything. You said it in the background and everything. With everything going on now, with the police brutality and all the injustices, you also have African Americans who are deciding that they have been, through some kind of trauma or something, and deciding to get some kind of help. Do you believe, or do you see that now that we're opening ourselves up and starting this conversation, that we will be able to start to change the stigmas in our own community? Because I think is more vital that we start to have these conversations, because we do, right? But
Mhm.
it's like on the hush hush. It's always watered down. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what the thing is, and this is my belief.
Hmm.
Um, I'm black, okay, as you can see.
Me too,
All
girl.
right, and
Me
I'm a
too.
woman, okay.
Me too.
But this is, if you think about it, just think about our history
Hmm.
of psychological trauma. It's not just starting.
Right.
I do not believe that there is a person of color who has not experienced some form of psychological trauma, whether
Hmm.
it has been caused directly or indirectly. We deal with it every day. When you turn on the news, it's there. When you go out in the world, it's there. You are experiencing it daily, whether you want to admit it or not. And it causes anxiety, it causes depression, it causes panic. So we've always been dealing with these things. We just had not, we ignored it. We didn't
Right.
know um, that, where to go get help or the resources. We didn't have the conversation. Now, see, the more
Or
so
was it
we
considered
go,
normal? You know what I'm saying? Was it considered normal with?
we've normalized it, right?
That's right.
That's the
Right.
problem. We've normalized anxiety. We've normalized the depression caused by the psychological trauma from society, from the world. We've normalized that. So, but it's not normal to be
Right.
anxious all the time, to be in panic all the time. When I'm on the road and I see a cop, cool, believe
Yeah,
there's a little worry that comes over me
they sure do.
because I don't trust them anymore because
Hmm.
of what I now I have not been directly affected by police brutality, but I have been indirectly affected by watching my other brothers and sisters lose their lives or family members, and
That
the constant watching it on the news and the reports.
I'm laughing because I was walking my dogs the other day, coach, and you know how they have the police officers on a bike? They were standing on the side, and I was walking down, and I just said to myself, they were standing there, and I said to myself, just in an instant, I should cross the street. You know what I'm saying? And I said that to myself because I said they're police officers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want them, I don't want them talking to me. And then I said to myself, I said, no, Gloria, kind of get yourself together. And I walked past them, and it was like, oh, you got some wiener dogs. And I said, yeah, and I kept walking. But just in that instant, from what you said, as far as the indirect trauma,
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna go cross the street, because not because I felt like I was afraid, but I felt like I didn't want any trouble, but I knew I wasn't going to
There's a
have
form,
any trouble.
you
Right.
had a sense of anxiety
Yeah,
about what,
exactly.
and you shouldn't have to feel that way. But
Mhm.
because of situations, that this is the type of thing that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you feel like you have to maneuver around, what you're feeling, you're like, okay, there go cops. Let me
That's right.
go the street. That's
Hmm.
anxiety.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I did. I had it. Just it was a split second, but I can see if you are in an environment where it's like that all the time, how your anxiety can get out of control because the
Mm-hmm.
environment that you in and what you're living in can actually trigger those things. But it's like, what do we how do we
Imagine the people not being treated though.
and that's my thing. It's like there are communities though like this.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in a community like this.
Mm-hmm.
And you know when I got out 3 years ago, I became self-aware. And I'm 42, right? But for the last couple of years of my life, I told myself this is how life is. So just imagine people who do not have access to the resources that we have that just believe that this is life. It's okay that my uncle touched me because my mama got touched and grandma and all these people or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is okay that my cousin has these issues because they call special and or he's a little bit crazy,
See,
so
but
he
those are
doesn't
the more
need no
severe
help.
forms, right? And
Yeah,
the more noticeable ones, and but the ones like in anxiety, and you
yeah,
talking about
like
people
the me you can't
afraid.
see, like I was
Yeah.
talking about, like that stuff that's hidden that you're walking around with that you probably don't know that you're walking around with.
Mm-hmm.
If this is your normal life, how do you start to get the help that you need when you don't even know you got a problem?
Mm-hmm.
Because this is the life that you've been living for a very, very long time. It wasn't until I went to a therapist and she told me, you know what? Uh, you got situational depression. You're not depressed, but you got situational depression. When you go through certain situations, it is so bad for you that it keeps you stuck. And
Mm-hmm.
because it keeps you stuck, you don't know how to get out of it. And she was like, eventually you do, but when you're in that dark place, you just believe you're going through a rough time versus understanding what it is that you're doing to yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like imagine all these people who are out there who are going through this and really don't know. So it's like the resources that we have, we might have access to them, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't. And so you just label it what you think you know and you go on about life. But now that we have people like you and others who are bringing about this awareness, what are some of the things that you do to help people understand what this mental and emotional health is, and how do you get them to see the difference and allow them to start tapping into you know uh, some of the things that they might need to fix and to get over that stigma.
Well, I have a Facebook group. Start speaking, stop sticking.
Mm,
I started that with my son a few years ago after he was diagnosed with ADHD.
mhm,
I had already been diagnosed.
mhm,
So I utilized that group to share information and to be transparent about even what's going on with me.
right.
I'm very real about my journey. The my This whole thing, my coaching, uh, the facilitating, the training, the group support that we have a support group that we do on Sundays. I'm hoping to expand to other days, but we every Sunday we have an emotional support group, and we go in and we talk about things that's going on in our lives and how we're being affected. But, we talk about being accountable for, and taking responsibility for how we're feeling.
Mhm.
But I share my story a lot to get people to understand you are not by yourself.
Mm.
You are not alone. There are so many other people out here who need you to heal so you can help them heal.
Exactly.
So yeah, I tell my story all the time. I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis first before I even had my first diagnosis with mental illness. Okay. I now looking back, I now know that there was clear indications of some mental and emotional health issues. But of course, we didn't talk about it. It
That's
was,
right.
I mean,
Everybody
when
was
I
the
look back,
same.
I think about
That's
my
right.
parents. I'm like, those jokers, y'all were messed, okay,
I know it.
messed up. So messed up people raise messed up children.
Come on now.
All right. So
Hmm.
I grew up with all these, issues, and now I know I've diagnosed with PTSD,
Hmm.
ADD, grown. I'm 46. ADD. ADD. Okay, I take it, whatever. Because I believe I have a little time focusing. Panic attack and anxiety disorder, mood disorder. Honey, I'm just all over the spectrum, just everywhere. But it had an effect on my emotions. I was angry and
Yeah.
just mad and just unhappy and just did not feel well at all, mind, body, nor spirit. Did I feel good in my skin? And
Mhm.
I just wanted to feel better. I'm like, I'm tired of feeling ugh, like I'm just going with the flow. I'm just existing. Like where is the happiness?
Ooh,
And
that's good.
I once, I say that MS was the catalyst that took the blinders off, and I was forced to go in and get checked because I had a panic attack driving my family. At the time,
Mm.
I had two children at the time. They were younger, and my then husband. And we were in the car. We were at the beach, and we were on our way to Target, and I missed the turn, and he didn't yell, he didn't do anything that was derogatory or say anything that was derogatory. I mean, his voice didn't go up an octave or any of it. He was like, you could have turned back there, you passed the turn, you could have turned right there. And I lost it. Now, just because I lost it, why? Hell if I know. I just did. But I'm just like, and driving, cars going by. So I end up pulling over. I end up turning around. Lord knows, thank you. But we got to the Target. I got out and I'm crying and I'm panicking. I don't know. I'm sweating, palms, everything. And my kids look at me like, yeah, uh,
What's wrong with mom?
hey, mama,
Yeah.
she tripping.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know my ex-husband at the time was like, he had never seen that. Like, what is wrong?
Mm.
What? I just said, I'm like, I know, I know, I know. And when I got back, I made an appointment. I'm like, somebody got to help me.
That's right.
That was crazy.
That's
So
right.
from that point on, that's where mom was like, you know what? It's time to get these tune-ups.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
I don't play about honey, let me tell you something. I
Mhm.
don't play about my mental and my emotional space. That journey has done so much for me. It has helped me so much that it's like I have been compelled to share. Like
Mhm.
I don't want anybody else, man or woman, to experience those feelings that I don't. It's so that is not living at all.
And that's what I'm saying, coach. That's why I guess we share the same mission, because there's a lot of us out here who do and don't know what's wrong, right?
Mhm.
And believe that it is because they're overwhelmed with work and they don't like their job. And, it's because the me and mom don't have a good relationship. No, honey. It is like you said, you need to tune up somewhere in here,
Mhm.
right? and
Mhm.
and you've never been told how to do it and how to express yourself,
Mhm.
so you just going on about life
Mhm.
thinking and blaming everyone else as to how you feel, and that's not it,
Mhm.
right? So
Right.
that's why I applaud you for all the things that you're doing, the facilitating the awareness and getting out there,
Thank
because
you.
a lot of people don't know, don't want to accept, or feel like that's not the problem. They deflect and avoid.
There lies a problem.
Correct. Correct.
Here's the thing. There's this saying, and I don't. It's an anonymous person. I don't know who wrote the quote, but I read the quote, and it was beautifully written. You may not be the cause of your wounds, but you are responsible for your healing. So
Exactly.
that means you can blame everybody under the sun. You can blame whoever you want to, but your healing is up to you. So
Mhm.
you can either keep blaming or you can go somewhere and start getting your healing process. Because ultimately, this is your life. And if you want to live a good quality life, mind, body, and spirit, it is up to you to figure out what you need to do to heal. So you can be mentally well and emotionally well. Period.
Well, coach, there you have it. How do we find you? How do we follow you? How do we participate in this support group? Like, let us know what we can do.
So I thank you so much for inviting me here. You can find me on Facebook. Start Speaking Stop Stigma Facebook group, hashtag Start Speaking Stop Stigma group. You can reach out to me. My name is Nakikia, Nakikia, last name Wilson. Probably the only Nakikia on there with these beautiful locks. You can find. You can email start speaking stop stigma at gmail.com if you want to become part of the emotional support group. My number, you can contact me via text 919-964-0546. And let's get this wellness. Come on, let's get it. It's time to live, honey. It's
And
time to live.
Coach Wilson, thank you so much for being here. I really, really, really do appreciate it. And thank you for giving us these nuggets, because we do. And people like us who have been through it and now so passionate about going out there and just teaching, people how to just get well and to feel better.
Mm-hmm.
I believe God just put us in this space at the right time to go ahead and do that. Like,
Yes, ma'am.
you allowed the world to sit down and find out who they are, so that now while you go out and speak to the world, they'll actually pay attention and listen this time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So everything always happens for a reason.
I believe it.
Hmm. So I get to see you next time. Okay.
All right. Thank you so very much for letting me come here and speak to you all. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful night.
All right. You too.
All right. Bye bye.